I'm live.
Welcome to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network, where we talk about interracial love and marriage. Hope you enjoy Swirl to Investment. The most successful is black women, white men. And the reason is because black women are the most nurturing, most loving, most loyal, most spiritual, and most beautiful. Any questions? Swirl to investment. Choose the black woman.
Okay, how's everybody doing tonight? Okay, this is a late night. Okay, this went well beyond the time that I planned on doing a late night live. Um, I was, originally scheduled to go on 10:45 Eastern time, which is like 109 Eastern time. Sorry. Um, I was on my brother's live stream, Vincent, and that was an awesome live. And oh my God, I couldn't get off it, and so that's why this show is late. But it's not going to be too long. I'm going to make it, you know, pretty short. It's going to be a real short live because it's on so late. But I just wanted to come on and tell you, how I feel. And if you've seen my topic, why marriage between white men and black women should be encouraged and promoted. I believe this is something that needs to happen. Um, honestly, and I'm going to take off these headphones. Um, but black women, white men, our marriages should be, promoted. They should be, how can I say this? People tell me I shouldn't advertise my marriage with my black wife because somehow it's so dangerous. Whatever. Yeah, it should be encouraged. It should be advertised. It should be something that we should promote. We should. We should promote interracial relationships. We should. Look, you know what? I found my wife because I had the courage to interracially date. I found my wife. I found the true love of my life because I was able to see the true beauty in black women. Because, I can look at truth instead of color. I could look at truth instead of someone that looked like me, that acted like me. I was able to get the best result based on that. And most people aren't able to do that. They're not. Most people cannot look at things logically. They cannot look at stats and what's going on in the world. They're so race loyal, it's not even funny, right? I was never race loyal. I don't give a shit about my race, seriously. I just want the best for me. I want the best for my family. I want to be with the woman I love more than anything in the world. And seriously, black women is the group of women I love more than anything. And I've seen this propaganda where people say, well, white people are dying out and there's a conspiracy to interracially date because somehow we're going to die and go extinct. Okay. If that's God's will, so be it. I don't give a shit. I don't worship my skin tone. I don't worship people that look like me. I worship my God. And I love the most beautiful women, the most successful women, the women I love more than anything in the world, and that's black women. So whatever's going to happen is going to happen. I don't give a damn. And these guys can say, these people would say, well, white people are dying out. They're going extinct. Oh, okay, whatever. Really what's going on is people are having less children, mostly white people. Most white people will only have one or two kids in today's world. Where in the past and the early 1900s and 1800s, we had anywhere from 10 to 20 kids, right? Now we're only having 1 to 2. So yeah, that makes sense. Our population will decrease, and that's okay. And if God wants to make white people extinct, he'll do it. So why do I give a damn about that? I don't. The only thing I know is black women are the most beautiful, the most loving. Black women are everything when it comes to women. And thus I chose the black woman to be my wife. And that's what I want to talk about tonight. Look, and the thing is why shouldn't we promote marriage between white men and black women? Let me tell you why we should promote this, okay? Because when it comes to white men, okay, in our culture, marriage is still a big part of our culture, okay? And if you're a conservative, traditional white man like myself, marriage is everything. The love for my God is everything, okay? And when I get in contact and I'm around traditional black women, spiritual black women, I have come to find out that these women are on the same wavelength as me. They believe in the same things as I do. You know, and the thing of it is I think black women and white men are the best option is because we're so much alike, it's not even funny. You can't even make this up. They say, well, your cultures are different. Really? Are they really? Black people and white people in today's world? They say black people love barbecues. Let me tell you something. In my family, we've had barbecues ever since I was a baby till now. And there weren't black people involved. We just did it. Black people do it. Okay. Let's talk about our everyday community reactions, right? I seen a thing on, you watch a movie with Ice Cube in the Barbershop, right? How men come together, get their hair cut, and talk about politics or our stuff about the day and things that are going on. I grew up in that same type of thing. Ever since I was 3 years old with my teenage father, he would go get his haircut and take me as a boy. And these were white men, Hispanic men, and they gossiped. They talked about crazy shit, right? Just like black people do. We do the same thing. And you know what? It's something in the neighborhood we have that kind of correlates what we have together. Um, and recently, guys, I had an experience. I got with my father. I said, Dad, you know what? Let me hang out with you. I said, Dad, I need to get a haircut. Can I go with you to the barbershop? And when you get your haircut, let me know. I'm going to get my haircut too. Here's the thing. And we grew up in an old part of the neighborhood. Um, it was an old shopping center where stores would come and go. But the shop that lasted the longest was the barbershop, right? And the man that cut my dad's hair and my hair when I was 3 years old, and my dad was 22 years old, he's still there to this day. He's in his late 80s, still cutting hair. And the thing of it is this guy, and I had a thing where I spent the day with my father, and he asked me, he says, how's everything going? How's that nice girl that you brought by, a few years back? Well, this was like, oh my God, 29 years. I brought my wife Sandy by. This guy knew my father and me when I was 3 and my dad was 22. Fast forward, my dad is my dad is 72. I'm 53. Okay. There was history there. Okay. And here's the thing. You know what that man asked me? He says, I remember you as a boy, and I remember you loved to chase those black girls. And people in there were laughing because there's history there, right? They knew about me back when I was a boy, and I'm a middle-aged man, right? And that was an experience. And he said, what happened to that nice girl you were with a few years ago? That's my wife. How long you been married? 28 years. Like, God damn. He says, that long? But you know what? This white man, this traditional white man that you would never think that would give me praise for being with a black woman. He says, I know you chased black girls back in the day. He says, you know what? He says, when I seen that young girl you were with, I knew she would be a good wife. And I was right. And this guy, he says he has a nephew married to a black woman. And he says, you know what? They've been married several years. When I thought you were a crazy young kid just acting, I thought it was odd. I thought you were just out of the norm. But you know what? You were right. And here's the thing. This was an experience I didn't expect to have. But you know what? My grandmother gave me the same experience before she passed a few years ago because she was against my interracial marriage. She said it would not work. You are my oldest grandson. It won't work. And I don't want you to get hurt. But these interracial things do not work. I told her it will work. It will be internal. It's going to work. She says, I love you. And who you choose to be your wife, she's a good woman. I see that, but it won't work because we're so different. I'm sad to tell you, I give it 6 months, if even that. Look, this was 6 grandkids. somehow we got married around the same time. They all choose to be with white people. Two of my cousins were men. They choose white women. I chose a black woman. Okay. My other cousin chose the white man. Okay. You know what? Not one of them lasted 1 year. My grandmother did not give me 1 year. All the other kids didn't even last a year. My marriage, I've been married to my wife over 28 years. I married my wife and May 19th, 1994. I'm still married. I'm still happy. I'm still in love. And this is not an exception to the rule. This is the rule. My grandmother said, "You know what? You and Sandy, you were meant to be together." She told me this on her deathbed. She says, "You know what? You were right. I was wrong. You're an exception to the rule." I said, "You know what, Grandma? No, you are wrong. We are not an exception to the rule. We are the rule." And I look at statistical data. That's what I do. And black women and white men, they are the most successful when it comes to marriage. Me and my wife, Sandy, were not an outlier. We were not an exception to the rule. We were the rule, and we never knew we were the rule. You know why? Because we came in the marriage with true love. And when we got beat down from our communities, when we got beat down for the people in our group, you can't stand up to us. You cannot defeat us. You cannot. Look. And you know what? The life I've lived, it's not unusual. Black women and white men love each other. Black women and white men want to be with each other. Don't kid yourself. It's been that way since the beginning of time. It's just the evil forces between us have kept us separated. It's because of sin. It's because of corruption we cannot get together. It's because of our communities that forbid us to be together. That's what has pushed us apart, but we're stronger than that. We will overcome. We will adapt. We will overcome. We will be victorious. My wife is Sandy is a beautiful thing. I love my wife. I don't deserve my wife. Gosh. You know what? Seriously. I can't even comprehend why my wife loves me. I can't even understand why she gives me everything. I don't know. I thank God for it, but I don't understand it. But look, from the time I was 5, God spoken to me, and I know He did. Because the most beautiful woman in my life, at the age of 5 years old, was a black woman. It was a babysitter I had that I was so in love with. I idolized this young lady. I thought she was everything. And look, I was 5 years old. I wasn't looking at her butt. I wasn't looking at her body shape. I wasn't looking at whether she's attractive. I just felt true love. And it came from a black woman. And you know what? My heart was on fire from that day. That day, I said, you know what? And I didn't say this as a child, but you know what? I'm paraphrasing. But at that day, I gave my heart to black women. And you know what? Through my life, no other woman could break my heart except a black woman. Well, with the exception of my mother. You know, that's the only Becky that broke my heart was my mom. And she did a bang up job on that. But other than that, black women, the only woman that's had access to my heart is black women. Seriously. And the thing is why? Why would you do that? People ask me, and I tell people my story. They say, well, there's beautiful white women that are good women and all this stuff. Yeah, I agree. But look, no woman in my life has shown me more love than black women. Seriously. I'm not making this up. Yeah, in my dating times, there were black women that kicked me to the curb, that didn't want to be with me because I'm a white guy. Yeah, that happened. But you know what? When I really got to know black women, there's no other greater love. There's not. And I remember back in the day, I used to ask my father, I said, what if I had a wife that looked like Donna Summer? My dad already knew. He says, okay, son. Where are you going with this? I said, he told me, he says, you know what? This is a beautiful black woman that's famous, talented, can sing. She's beautiful. You're an average looking white guy from New Mexico. You don't have a chance. My dad was cold-blooded like that, right? And he's right. But he said, you know what, son? I love you. You'll have a good wife. And he's right. But let me tell you, that babysitter, I love that young lady so much. You don't even know. I love her back then when I was a child. When she gave me candy, and this sounds silly, right? When she gave me candy and she says, here you go, big guy. She called me big guy. When I grew up as a child, I was a little guy. I was smaller than most kids, right? And that meant a lot to me. And that was a young black lady, black woman that showed me love. You know what? And the one thing about black women are so spiritual. And I'm a Christian, right? But somehow God put me around Christian black women, right? And this was so loving. And I remember we would go to church because their family went to church, right? My mom didn't. You know, she was a young woman that had a child at 17. She was on our wild side. But this black family went to church. They were religious but this young black girl, you know, my mom would pay her to babysit me, right? When I would spend time with my mom in the summertime. And I was so attached to this young lady. I was so uncontrollable as a child. I would cause problems. People didn't know how to control me, right? But when I was with this young lady, I was on my best behavior. And I remember sitting on the pew and I would just hug her arm and I felt love. And The one thing about children is when you're a child, children gravitate towards love. They do. My granddaughters do that with me when they come visit. I hug them. I give them toys. They love me. They think I'm the greatest, right? But they know I truly love them, right? This young lady showed me true love, and this I'm not related to her, but that was one thing that changed my path, and it changed my outlook on black women. It changed how I really feel about black women. And you know what? I seen this early, and I've talked to white men that are married to black women, and they say, brother, what you're saying is so true. And you know what it is? It's that once we experience love from a black woman, we don't want no other love. Because that love is so pure, it is so sacred. It is a love that comes from God. And I'm not saying you can't get true love from any other group of women. You can, but I don't know how. I'm just saying. But that changed my pathway. And I look at the world today, and I was on Vincent's show tonight, my brother, and he was hitting so many awesome points. And he was going in, and the thing of it is the problem we have in this world is we do not love the most beautiful women. We do not love the most loving women. We do not love the best women on earth. We don't. I do. I see the truth. And we got so off topic, but that show was so great. And the ladies that came on and put their input, I was amazed. I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. But you know what? You know what it all is? Is the love that we have for black women. And black women, look, there are more white men that want to love you than black women want to love white men. That's truth. And black women will email me and write me and say, okay, where are these white men at that want to be with black women? And I can't narrow it down to a certain point, a certain building, or a street name, or what neighborhood. But you know what? They're all over. I talk to white men all the time, and black women tell me that I should talk to white men that love black women and encourage them to date black women. I do all the time. I do every day. People get sick of me telling them how much I love black women. My job, they know I love black women. The Tyrones, they're sick of hearing that. They get pissed off when I talk about black women. The Becky's in there, they fucking hate it. They're like, why are you doing this? Be with them if you want them, but don't tell us. I think it's a little jealousy, but okay. I cannot suppress my feelings. I cannot suppress where my heart is. I cannot hide the love I have for black women. And I came to a part in my life where I was like, you know what? Why the fuck am I saying that I love all women? That all women are beautiful? Well, all women are beautiful. But why do I have to say that white women are just as beautiful as black women when I don't fucking believe that shit. I was there. I told those lies to be politically correct. I told those lies so people wouldn't be angry at me. I said that white women and black women are so beautiful, but I just happen to marry a black woman. No, that's bullshit. I deliberately went for black women. I only wanted to be with black women. Yes, I'm biased. Yes. When it comes to dating, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to intimacy, black women and black women only. There is no other women that I want to deal with, period. It's not that I hate other women. I don't. I don't want to have nothing to do with any other women. I don't. My wife is black because that's what I wanted. My wife is black because that's what I chose. My wife is black because that's what I seeked out for. I came from an all-white neighborhood. And I chose a black woman. I had the least amount of access to black women. But you know what? I chose the black woman. And why should I lie about that? Why should I act? And here's the thing that's so stupid is we try to be so politically correct. We don't want to hurt Becky's or Karen's feelings because you know what? They're fragile. And we don't want to step on black men's feelings either. So all women are equal. Bullshit. Black women are the best. They always have been, always will be. And this is coming from a white man. I would never be with any other group of women except a black woman. If something, God forbid, happened to my wife, I would never get married again. But if I did, it wouldn't be a Karen or a Becky. I'm just saying. It would be a black woman of my age. I'm just saying. But I'm being honest. And let me tell you, the power couple in today's America is the black woman, white man. You cannot deny it. Look, the media, Hollywood, they will try to debunk it. They will try to suppress it. Because you know what? There's a divine purpose. Black women, white men are supposed to come together. It's God's plan. They say there's, some kind of government conspiracy. No, there's not. Okay. They say that there's some plan going on because white people are dying out. No. White people are not dying out. It's just we're having less children. We're only having 2 or 3 kids as opposed to 10 or 12 back in the 1800s. So, of course, there are going to be more people that die than are being born. That's okay. And I don't really give a shit. If white people are going to extinct, I don't give a damn. That's God's will. If that's what he wants, who gives a shit? But seriously, my thing is to love my God, to serve my God, and love black women. That's my purpose in life. So whatever else happens, oh well, it is what it is. But anyway, I don't want to get caught up in this. This is going to be a short live, guys. Vintage show was so good, I couldn't come on till later. But seriously, black women, you should never be last at anything. You should never be the most group that has the most out of birth wedlock rate. You shouldn't be that. You should not be the most abused women in America. You should not It should not be. You should not be the women that are least married. Mm-mm. And it breaks my heart that black women fit these categories. And I don't understand why. Because growing up in my life, there's no other woman I've loved more than the black woman. I didn't hesitate to marry my wife. I only knew her 2 months, and I asked her to be my wife. It didn't take long. And she has given me everything. The success I have in life, I'm just at awe. The jobs I got in my life as I moved up, she says, you know what? You're going to do it. You're going to make it happen. I got faith in you. And when you get that job, we're going to celebrate. I said, God, no, I can't do it. I'm not that good. And I'm being honest. I'm not that. But somehow, she said, don't give up. You got it. Somehow it would happen. And this happened many times. I don't know if my wife's prayer is so powerful that it just blesses me. But the thing of it is she never gave up on me. The thing of it is, failure was never an option with my wife. She loved me so much. She had so much faith in me. Failure was never an option. Sometimes I feel I would rather die than to show her failure in my life because she has so much faith in me. But you know what? The reason I have success in my life, the reason things have worked out is because I got a wife that loves me and she prays to God for me. Yeah. But there is nothing that you can't do. When you feel the love of a black woman, there's nothing. There have been black women in my life that have loved me, that have been there for me. And let me tell you, the most spiritual women on earth is black women. I'm a Christian, but Christian black women are so awesome. They gotta come straight from heaven. But anyway, I know I got a little emotion on this, but when you love your wife, and when you love black women that have shown you so much love your whole life, and when you haven't had access to black women like that, and they still have blessed you, let me tell you, there's no other woman I would want to be around. Even as friends, as associates, black women are so amazing. I just love them. When I see black women doing amazing things, and I don't even have to know who they are, I don't even have to know them personally, I feel good inside because I know how black women are. Sorry. I do. And you know what? I've been so blessed in my life. But anyway, I think interracial marriage should be promoted. I think it should be encouraged because in today's world, and I love my country. I love my home. And black women, you are a part of my home. You're a part of my family. I think of black women more as my family than I do white women. Seriously, because black women have shown me more love. Seriously, it's true. And I think if our nation's going to survive, if our nation's going to be something that's great, I think black women need to be the center of that. Black women need to be a big part of that. They do. You know, my family knows where my heart is. My mom and dad, they told me, you know what? When I married my wife, my father hit the ground on his knees. He said, "Thank God you married a good woman." He said, "Thank God." My father said that. He's pretty rough. You know what I mean? Because he knows true character. He knows true love. And the amazing thing is my father, my mother, they never told me it was wrong to love black women. They never told me I was weird. You know what? They said, I understand, son. Just find that woman. They just prayed that I would find the right black woman. And when I did, they praised God for it. My dad said my dad said to my wife, he says, "Thank you for marrying my son. Thank you." Because though my father he didn't marry a black woman. He would, but he saw true love. He saw the truth, and he knew where I was coming from. And my dad would be so. How can I say that? He would criticize everything I did. He would nitpick it, but the love I had for black women, no, he didn't even challenge that. Because I think though he wasn't in love with black women, he seen where my heart was, and he seen my wife, and he knew I had a good wife. And I thank God for that. And my mom embraced my wife too. And look, my mom was gone a while when I was little. My dad, he fulfilled. He did what he's supposed to. But black women, you do not know how beautiful you are. You do not know how much value you have. You are that virtuous woman that is worth more than rubies and precious stones. No other, nothing on earth can match the value that you have. That's true. But anyway, I'm getting emotional a little bit. And I do, because I have love for black women. And when you got true love from God, you're going to hit that emotional thing. And you know what? God, I just wish other men would see what I see. Because black women, you deserve more than any other woman on earth. You do. You have given everything, your heart, your soul. And a lot of times you've given it to black men. And I get it. They're in your community. You love your community, your family. But ladies, don't give your love, your youth, your heart to any man that don't deserve it. And I would speak to the young ladies. I would say open up your options, but make sure that man deserves you to be with you. Make sure he's a good man, seriously. But anyway, I don't want to make this too long, but guys, I'm going to put on a little panel and I'm going to bed. Hey Mark, how's it going? But seriously, black women. And I wish there were so many more white men or any other non-black men that would just show their love for black women and have the courage to say, you know what? I'm going to compete for her. I want her love. And I want to show that I'm the best option. Isn't that what we do as men? We fight for the women we want. We compete. And if we give the most, we get the most. If we give the best, we get the best. Just saying. Anyway, I want to show this video. Sorry, guys. I'm getting a little sidetracked here. This here is from a guy that does TikToks, and I think he does some YouTube. You will recognize him. He's a biracial man. I think his father was black, his mom was white. And he speaks a lot of truth. This guy is, I watched some of his videos, and I don't know his name. Is it unapologetic biracial or angry biracial? I don't know. But he speaks a lot of truth and a lot of facts. And a lot of stuff he says really hits point, right? Angry biracial. That's it. Angry biracial. Yes, I love this guy. And look, I'm going to show you this video and tell me what you guys think, right? Okay. Let me add this to the stream real quick.
Yet when a white man and a black woman get married, they have the least likely divorce rate out of.
Okay. Angry biracial. Hey, shout out to you, angry biracial. Hey, brother, come on my show sometime. If he ever hears this, I'm going to reach out to this guy because I would love to talk to him. Seriously. I got biracial children, so I love biracial people. He's a good guy. Let's hear what he has to say, okay? But angry biracial, reach out to the Roadrunner 89 Investment Network. Anyway, let's go.
Yet when a white man and a black woman get married, they have the least likely divorce rate out of every other couple. They have the highest success rate. Yet when a black man and a white woman get married, they're 200% more likely to get divorced. They have the highest divorce rate out of everybody. 200% more likely to get divorced. So that goes to show that the black woman was never the problem. The problem was always the black man.
Wow. Okay. Is he right? The problem was never. See what he says? He says when black women and white men get together, they're the most successful. But when black men, white women get together, it's a failure. So bottom line is black women are not the problem. And here's the thing. Black women were never the problem. They're not. Black women are the most loving, most nurturing. Black women are the most loyal. And when she loves you, you freaking know it. When a black woman gives you your heart, her heart and soul, you cannot be anything but successful. You cannot experience anything but true love. But angry biracial, he knows the truth. A lot of us know the truth. The problem is not black women. When it comes to black community, when it comes to racism and all this other crazy stuff, black women are not the problem. In fact, black women are the solution. When it comes to true love, I think God will bring us together through black women. I believe that. Tell me I'm wrong. I think black women will bring us together with their love, their nurturing, their reasoning. You get a black woman that's not emotionally affected. You get a black woman that will speak to you and talk to you with love and affection. Seriously. Black women were never the problem. Black women are the solution. And when other men see the beauty in black women, black men get ready to compete. Black men get ready. You're going to have to fight tooth and nail for the affection of black women. And us as white men, whether we're at a disadvantage or not, we're going to fight. We want to be with the black woman. We see the true love. We want to be with her. And the black woman should get the best man regardless. Us competing as men, that's not black women's problem. Black women, their only concern is getting the best man. And that's all they should be concerned about. But let's hear Angry Biracial again. I love this guy.
Yet when a white man and a black woman get married, they have the least likely divorce rate out of every other couple. They have the highest success rate. Yet when a black man and a white woman get married, they're 200% more likely to get divorced. They have the highest divorce rate out of everybody. 200% more likely to get divorced. So that goes to show that the black woman was never the problem. The problem was always the black man.
Wow. What do you think? I agree. I think the problem was never the black woman. I think it's the black man. I think it's the black man in his pride. I think it's the black man in his ego. I think it's the black man worried about his image. I think it's a black man wanting to be the player and pimp instead of the husband and father. I believe that. I think black women are not the problem at all. I think black women are the solution. And the more of us that love black women and embrace black women, I think that's the solution. Seriously. Look, I've been married to my wife Sandy since May 19th, 1994. And you know what? I've been blessed by that ever since the day we got married. And it's not black women the problem. It's black men. It is. And I'm not trying to go in on black men, but seriously, what is the problem? Black women are the most successful, the most intelligent, the most loving, the most nurturing. But yet, only 27% of black women are married. What are we doing? And I look at black men like, what the fuck's your problem? You got the best. And then I look at white men. Why the fuck aren't you opening up your options? Seriously. What the hell is wrong with men in America? Or around the world for that matter? Seriously. But you know what? That will always be the same. Sooner or later, we're going to open up our eyes. Sooner or later, black women are going to be the most sought after women in America, in the world. And if we were smart as men, they would already be there. It's just we're a bunch of dumbasses, really. But anyway, sorry guys, I've got caught up in my feelings. But I can get emotional with this because of the love I have for black women. And let me tell you, black women are the best option. And when it comes to white men and black women, we're meant to be together. We are. We share a lot of same things, a lot of culture, a lot of things, a lot of plans we have in our life, a lot of family values, a lot of spirituality. Look, the biggest group of women of God in America is black women. I'm a traditional white guy, right? I'm a Christian. I'm highly conservative. Amazing thing is a lot of black women are like me. Seriously. More so than white women. I identify greater with black women than white women. Seriously. On a cultural aspect, on a spiritual aspect, when it comes to faith, when it comes to serving God, look. You can't say black women and white men aren't meant to be together. They are. Seriously. And I don't care if black women come in a weave or a wig or braids or whatever the hell hairstyle they have. Ladies, I love you. You look beautiful no matter what hairstyle you wear. That weave looks good. It does whether you go natural. There's no other group of women that has a hairstyle like you. Most women, their hair grows down. Yours grows up. Black women, how can I even say this? I mean, you are the most beautiful. You are the best of the best. When it comes to how you look, how you love, how you worship, when I express my love for black women, my heart is like an engine that fires on all cylinders. It's like a Hemi. It's like a Detroit diesel. It cannot be stopped. It's powerful. When it comes to my love for black women, it comes from the physical, the spiritual, the emotional. Every aspect of love I have for black women, it fires on all cylinders. And I can say this with a clear conscience. and I can say it in front of the mirror. I can say this in front of God. There is no other man that loves black women like I do. There's not. Seriously. And I believe this because my love for black women, it goes from the physical to the spiritual to the emotional. That to me is true love from God. Seriously. But anyway, the black woman is the most desirable. The black woman is the most beautiful. The black woman is the most spiritual. The black woman is the most emotional. Yes. They say that angry black woman. No. I embrace that. When a black woman gets deep in her emotions, I just want to hug her and just show her love because I know what it is. It's because her heart's into it all the way. And it might seem crazy, but it's a beautiful blessing. Because when our emotions are at the utmost, when our love is the most powerful, we seem the most crazy. Seriously. And black women can display this all the time. Yeah, likes up so this video can go farther. Yeah, give me a like. But seriously, this is how I feel, guys. Ladies, black women, you are so valuable. And I wish there were more white men that would come up in the platform and show you they love you. I wish there were more white men channels that would uplift black women. I do. And I pray to God. I said, Vincent and his channel, I thank God for that. I'm like, oh my God, thank you. Ladies, we owe you everything. We do. Our nation owes you everything. And if we're going to do anything for any group of people, it should be black women. It should. But, with that being said, ladies, the biggest love I have in my life is for black women. It is, straight up, seriously. But anyway, I'm going to put the link up. And if you guys want to come on before I shut down, it's already midnight where I'm at. I just wanted to make this video and show my love for black women. I was going to go deeper in this show, but, Vincent has such a great show, I couldn't, and I didn't want to cut into his show. But here's the link if you want to come up. And ladies, seriously, you are the best option. You are. You have the most love in your heart. And I wish, I wish the world would change. And I think, and I believe this would be true, I think if we would declare black women the most beautiful, it would be so in America. And black men could have made this happen, but they didn't. But I'm going to try to make it happen. But anyway. Hey, Mark, welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, not bad. Yourself?
Good to see you. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. Just got home from work, and I thought I saw your show on YouTube, so I thought I'd come and join you for a bit.
Oh, yeah, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you. But as you know, my background, I've dated interracially for 30 years, and I would never, ever, ever stop loving black women. I'm the same as you. They say
Yeah.
they're phenomenal women. And what I find when they love their man, they give everything, and their love is unconditional. And to experience a love like that, if you're with a black woman, obviously like yourself, you've been with Sandy for nearly 30 years, you'll never, ever, ever find another love like it.
Yeah, and you know, um, me and Sandy, we married back in 1994, May 19th. That was Malcolm X's birthday.
Wow.
Somebody point that out to me, and I researched Malcolm X, but yeah, that was, well, May will be 29 years. And yeah, it was, and you know what? Black women are amazing. And the thing of it is I just want black women to know that us as white men, we love you. Us as white men, you know, we want to be with you. We want to love you. We want to put you on that pedestal.
Yep.
You know, and look, people have said from the beginning of time that white men put white women on a pedestal, and we have. Look, my grandfather, my father have put white women on a pedestal. And you know what? I put my wife on that same pedestal. The only difference is she's a black woman. And you know what? The men in my family never challenged that. They understood. Now, the women in my family, they're like, we're not having it, but it don't matter, because us as men, we run this. This is our family. This is our name. And, you know, and it's been that way since we came across in the 1800s from Northern Ireland and Scotland. You know what? And we came from humble beginnings. Don't kid yourself. But you know what? Our family name means something. When we give you our family name, we give you everything.
Exactly.
It's everything. When I give you my name, it's everything. I can't give you more than that. Seriously. Even my wealth, even the money I have, even the properties I have, nothing compares to my name. Once I give you that, that's everything. But anyway, I don't want to harp on that, but hey there, Angel.
I know it's been a moment there. Just been going through things since the beginning of 2023 here, and we're almost past the first couple of months of this year here. So I just haven't been doing much on here, or haven't been up here just because of personal stuff and all that. But if you remember, Brent, when I talked about my lady numerous times, she and I actually met up almost a couple weeks ago, and she talked to my mom for a couple of hours, because she and my mom wanted to get to know more of each other, and she loves my mom, and my mom loves her. And I believe I told you about how this same lady is the one who I gave a Emmett Till movie poster to for Christmas in December there, Brent. And I was like wanting to like say like how much I love her, but come to find out that all she wants to be is, and some people consider this the death word, a friend. I have my love for her, but at the same time, she just wants to stay friends there, and you can't really help but like respect like women's wishes, especially for someone that I would love to take it to the next level there if I could. but just I have to like respect what she would prefer. And am I okay with being her friend? Sure. I'm pretty sure there's another woman like her out in this world that wouldn't mind taking a guy like me an opportunity, if you know what I mean, Brent. So it really isn't that bothersome, but it's just I want to be able to find the love of my life before I get up into my 40s. In fact, next year I'll be not next year, next month I'm going to be 33 years old.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Not every woman wants to be the love of our life. You know what?
Yeah.
And what you're experiencing, just being friends. I've had women in my life that said, you know what? I don't look at you like that. I'm not into you like that. I just want to be your friend. And look, I mean, I've been through that.
Yeah.
And there's nothing. Look, just love her. You know what? Here's the thing. There have been many women that have rejected me as a man, and it hurts, and I'm okay with it. But there have been women that I rejected that I wasn't attracted to. It goes both ways. That's just life.
Yeah.
It sucks, but you know what? She's not meant for you. She's just not meant for you. There is another woman that's meant for you.
Yeah.
You haven't met yet. So
And
that's what
I'm pretty sure the right woman for me will be in a unlikeliest of things I would least like to think or expect, if you know what I mean. Kind of like how we met each other at a bike shop almost a year and a half, and from there we just connected as we did. But whether it would be at another bike shop, whether it would be in the unlikeliest of things that you usually only see in TV shows or movies, where I'd be like walking or biking one moment, and the woman were to and I were to collide, and we were to help each other, and then look at each other eye to eye, and then just like hey, and then all of a sudden we'd be like both like in love for each other, if you know what I mean, Brent. So I don't know where that happened, but it'll happen in the unlikeliest of ways there, and I just need to let that like happen when it does, if you know what I mean.
No, I get you. And you know what? It'll come.
Yeah.
You know what? Rejection's a part of life, and
Yeah.
I'm the king of rejection. So I don't want to be, but sometimes that happens. But yeah, you know what? Keep your heart open, and you know what? It'll come.
Yeah.
Just vet, and you know what? Be on your toes. Okay.
I will.
Yeah. Anyway. Um. Yeah.
But when I did ask her where is the poster I gave to her, she's still has it, and right now she's just holding on to it until she can find a proper place where she still lives at, where to hang it.
Okay. All right. Hey, Vincent, welcome.
Hey, buddy, I was just wrestling with something. That last video, wrestling with something. That last video was not putting comments up automatically. I think some people might be looking at my channel.
What do you mean? The comments aren't coming up, or
Like at first it's like you're not allowed to comment on this video. I was just like, I never put that setting in. Like, that's weird. And this time it defaulted to that.
I think it's probably like in the midst of processing, because I'll be quite honest, if you just ended your stream a little bit ago, Vincent, there, and it's like been less than like a couple hours, depending on how long. Because one thing I've seen on YouTube is if your stream is less than 2 hours, it'll be 12 hours before the live stream is fully uploaded, and it'll automatically disable the ability for people to comment in your live stream. Because I've clicked on live streams even after a few hours there, if it was like short, that like I explained there, and the little comment section would like say comments are turned off, and then they would be turned on after fully processing. But if it's like 2 to 4 hours there, then the stream should be fully uploaded after just like less than a couple of hours. But after that would be the same scenario. I mean, YouTube has changed a lot over the years, I've noticed. And at the same time, I remember shorter streams still being able to enable comments just in the lengthy time as it would be for a 4-hour live stream there. But now, over these last few years, any live stream I've did that was like less than 2 hours, even for 90 minutes there, it would take up to the time, as I mentioned, to fully upload. And the comments, even from my subscribers, wouldn't be able to say anything until it was uploaded.
Vincent, I just put a comment on your thing. I don't know. It might be the process where they're, putting it up there. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I just posted a comment. I put great video. Keep up the good work. Yeah.
This is one that I've been talking about earlier a little bit.
Okay, sorry. I was listening to your video, Vincent. But I just put a comment up there. Maybe it's in the process of it being published. Sometimes.
Yeah, that's what I was like trying to explain in regards to the publishing or fully upload the way processing ways of YouTube does live streams.
Yeah, because sometimes I'll do a video, and some of the comments on a live stream will take out some comments because I don't know if they view it as controversial, and they'll say held for review, and then
that's what I was thinking happened.
Yeah. Our channels, Vincent. One thing that's going to be considered, we're considered how can I say that? Controversial, yeah. Not confrontation, but controversial. Because we don't just talk about interracial relationships, but we go in on black men. And that's going to create issues, but we'll get through it. Sometimes that's what it is. Because we bring truth to what's going on. But sometimes within the publication, when you end the video, the live stream, it takes a little while for it to publicize it. And because they look over your content, they do this. And when they see something they think is controversial, they might take a little more time. But I think that's what it is. I just put a comment on your video. I think you should be good.
Yeah, I think it's okay. I was just worried that for a little bit it looked like I might be getting the attention of YouTube people.
There. About how long ago did you end your stream, and how long was the length of the stream, like I was explaining?
Like an hour or two ago, and it was like 5 hours long. I mean, it's cool. We don't have to keep talking about this. Don't let me derail the whole
Okay.
thing.
Well, yeah. It's like what Brent said. He left a comment on your stream there, so hopefully you got like a notification about him leaving a comment on your stream there. But as we were both saying, it's like due to the process and the category or what they like classify your stream as he would say, controversial or something like that. I've had some comments on the videos of mine being held for review, even if it wasn't any type of like rude kind of way there. And in fact, the last time I had to do that was when someone was leaving like a genuine, respectful comment of me singing to a end credit song of a movie. And when I like looked at it, I was like, how does this help for review? And then whatever what was said in there is what YouTube made it be in the help for review category of the comments, which I approved as you would like guess. So it's like weird how some things work on YouTube.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it, Vincent. I think you're
Yeah,
good.
I wouldn't worry about it either.
Yeah, YouTube, it's kind of weird. If we were a pro-black station, I think it wouldn't be. They wouldn't review it as hard, but because we're speaking up for black women and going in on black men, I think that's what they do. But you're good. Your video wasn't blocked. It's published. People can watch the replay, so I think you're okay. I've had videos that were blocked and they just take it off. But it's still up there. I think you're good, buddy.
All right, cool. So before I came in, what were we talking about?
I was talking about marriage between white men and black women, the value that black women have. And, it's a value that a lot of us don't really see it. And we need to promote black women, white men relationships, black women, white men marriages. We do. And the way the media, the way society pushes it forward, it's not a lot of times not the truth, and a lot of times it's just something they do, and that's something we got to fight against. And then I was talking about how black women, the value we have for them, and how they make us the best that we are.
So if we remove the guys that are convincing black women to stay away from us, and then we become more of a primary choice for them, I think that's how they could see our value and that we could show them their own value.
Yeah. And if we could do that on a mass scale, it would be powerful.
Fuck yeah, it would. Sorry, you don't want me to cuss in jail. Freak yeah, it would. Sorry.
Good, Vincent. Yeah, but you know what? It's the thing of it is it is something that's going to take time. It's going to take white men like me, yourself, Mark here, Angel here, that just show love for black women and stand up for black women to make this change.
Getting back to what you were saying earlier about how white men and black women are so perfect together, I think the gift from God to black women. We are so compatible; it's unbelievable, and those stats just bear it out. I think on what he was saying in regards to marriages and divorces.
Yeah, and you know what? If you study the stats, it's astronomical how black women, white men come together, and if we look at it on the way we see it, the way the media presents it, we should be the biggest failure, but we're not. Black men, white women are the biggest failure when it comes to marriage, hands down. They do it the most. They're able to get together easier than any other group, but their marriages do not last. They are the biggest failures when it comes to marriage. And black women, white men are the biggest success. It's kind of ironic that there's such extreme parallels. And you know, there's always exceptions to the rules. You know, there will be a black man and white woman that stay married forever. There will be a white man and black woman that don't work. But in the majority, most black women, white men are successful. Most black men, white women are not. And I'm not wishing that to happen. I'm not. But it is what it is. It's reality. And I think what it is that black women, when they love, they give everything. And black women that are totally healed, that do not have a bias between any man, that are just looking for true love, when you find that, you're set. My wife, when we met, I was the only white guy she dated, but she fell in love with me because she's seen the character. She's seen how much I really loved her. And I seen the character in her. And it was an agreement we made. It was a deal we made that worked. And I mean, truth be told, I guess it was easy because we grew up in the same not the same neighborhood, the same town, the same state. We were pretty much in the same culture. She grew up in the good side of town. I grew up in the bad side of town. And it's kind of flipped the script between black people and white people because, you know, in her high school, she was the only black woman on her basketball team. Tell me how that makes sense. And, you know, when she'd come visit me, I would watch for her. My mom would be like, hey, watch out for Sandy. You know, she's coming in, you know, and I never felt my neighborhood was unsafe. I felt comfortable because I live here. But looking back, I'm like, oh, my God, why the hell was I? Why is my dad still living in that neighborhood? Me and my brother moved out of that crap. But my dad, you know, he's stuck in his ways. He's stubborn. But it is what it is. I mean, I found my black wife in the most white neighborhood. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
People laugh at me. They said, you went for a black woman in that neighborhood? Yeah, your ass backwards. But hey, you know what? I'm different. I'm my own person. And look, my time in the army, people would call me unpredictable. They would even call me ass backwards because they couldn't figure me out. But I'm my own person. I'm my own individual. And I love who I love. And you know what? My wife, Sandy, she's unpredictable too. We're just, maybe that's what clings us together because we don't fall into that norm. We don't fall into that perception, that generalization, are those stereotypes. You know, we're people. At the end of the day, it's not that we're different. We're just individuals. We're just people. And I found that black women are the best option. Black women are the most loving. Black women are the most beautiful. Black women, look, I could talk all night about this. Have there been black women in my life that the relationship wasn't good? Oh, yeah. I had a black woman that would beat the shit out of me And because I was a man that had pride and honor, I would never lay my hands on her. But I had a bad relationship. And it happens. But you know what? Overall, black women are the best option. I mean, it is what it is. And I try to share that with people, and I try to say, you know what? You might not be in that good relationship, but you know what? Overall, nobody can compare to black women when it comes to true love, when it comes to a real relationship. They can't. They really can't. But anyway, I could get caught up in this all night. And I don't want to stay up too late, but I was planning on going on after Vincent. Vincent's show went a little long, but it was so awesome. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, Vincent, your show was the bomb. I was like, maybe I shouldn't even go on tonight because this is
man. My channel only got followers because you gave me followers.
Hey, but you know what? You took that and you blew it up. I've never, you know what? Your views, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't had that many views, and you're doing it right now. So that, I mean, the sky's the limit for you. And
I hope so. I really want it to get big so a lot of people hear it, so a lot of people get involved in it, and then we can start enacting some shit.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. It's us coming together, and whatever we can add to this, we could change our nation, Vincent. We could change the world, really. I mean, what's going on in the black community in America is the same thing that's going on in Canada, the Caribbean, Africa, the UK. Look, it's the same thing. Seriously, I have black women that I talk to in Canada, in the UK, black women in Africa and Jamaica and Trinidad. I mean, they're telling me the same things that's going on. And you know, a lot of these women are ready to open up their options. And I talk to white men all over the place that say, I would love to date black women. I want to have a relationship with black women, but I don't think they're really into us white men. And I say, you know what? You don't even know. They love us. They do. There are some mammies and pick-me-shas that are out for the black man no matter what. They're always going to be that. But there are a lot of black women that want to be married to white men. There are a lot of black women that want to embrace us and come together as one. They're out there. Look, I've been dating since 1985. You know what? An amazing thing I found is when I started dating, is there were black women that only wanted to date white men. There were black women that found me attractive as a white guy. I'm like, wow, okay. I didn't think that was a thing. As crazy as it sounds, right? But it was a beautiful thing. I found out that there are black women that share the same values. I'm very conservative. You probably know already. I'm hard right, and I don't apologize for it. A lot of my friends are on the left or center, and that's okay. But you know what? I've always been that way. I've been raised that way. I remember the day when Reagan and Margaret Thatcher were on the scene, and I those were my heroes. And when the thing with Gaddafi broke out, I was just like so patriotic and so hard right. I mean, that's just me. I'm just that way. I'm very conservative, but I don't hate people on the left. I don't. But I'm being honest, and I'm very believe in what I say and what I do, and I have a one track mind. And when it comes when love and marriage, black women, and it's black women all the way. And the one thing I found with black women, and I don't know about black women in different countries, but I found that a lot of black women in America are very conservative, like myself, very traditional when it comes to the nuclear family, very spiritual when it comes to faith. I'm a Christian. My wife is a Christian. And you think I'm hard right, just talk to my wife, Sandy. She'll make me sound like a crazy leftist.
No, my relationship's kind of the same way too. She's further right than I am.
Yeah.
Like I'm more libertarian. Like I'm right libertarian. She is the hard right conservative.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I do that. I love Condoleezza Rice. I named my youngest daughter Condoleezza because I love. I mean, I'm just that way. I have love for Candace Owens, and I know a lot of my followers like, oh, why do you talk about her and whatever? But that's okay.
She seems to be controversial around. And one day I'll have to have somebody get on live with me and talk about why they don't like her. Like, not that I'm a mega fan of her, but whenever she seems to be a controversial figure around here.
Yeah, but you know what? That's okay. I don't. You know what?
Well, maybe there's something I don't know.
Yeah, I just love her because she's passionate. She tells it like she thinks, and
she's with the white guy. Yep.
And she's with the white guy. That's another bonus. And he's and Mark Candace Owens, her husband, isn't her father like in the British government? I think he's like in.
I know the name, but I don't know who her father is.
I think he's in the House of Commons or something. He's a political figure, a conservative over there.
I need to look it up.
I need to too. I don't. But she's very. And she met her husband by doing tours, and he's from the UK. Her father's a predominant British. I think he's a politician. I think he's, of course, he's conservative, but yeah. But I'll look that. I'll figure that out.
So, Dark Mother, what were you gonna say?
Well, I can tell you the reason why some women have decided that they don't like Candace Owens is because we, as is particular, we kind of do once we start finding a woman that makes sense and is not afraid to say the things that a lot of Black women are afraid to say. Like we did have a lot.
Hold on, we can't hear you right now, or at least I can't.
With that talking point
there we go.
Of basically, but the same excuse that Black men use. Oh, it's because they're not in the home, and it's basically single mother's fault for XYZ. And when she said that, the way that it was taken, it almost kind of sounded like she was again blaming Black women for not having men in the homes instead of saying that it's the men's fault for leaving. So like that rubbed a lot of women the wrong way. And then on top of that, the stunt that she pulled with Kanye, for some of us, that was just a little bit too far. So
politically, and I get why people say that. Politically, you can't blacklist an entire group. Like your movement won't get enough support to win elections like that. And so I feel like Candace Owens, by being with a white guy and just the way she talks and everything, like, has made her true stance obvious. It's obvious to me, but I think she does a lot of lip service to other groups because she understands that we need all groups to vote a certain way to win. But like, if you ask me, I feel like Candace Owens might have a burner account that follows me and Brent. But, but she can't say that stuff out loud too hard. So, like, publicly, it's just like, yes, Black men are important too, and they should be conservative. But then, like, secretly, she's on here, like, yeah, get them all. But I mean, I get that. I don't know. I was just surprised. I haven't seen that thing you were talking about. I guess I'll try to find that. But I mean, if she's going to be a black woman, maybe throwing some blame on black women to make black men happy. You know, I understand that.
Maybe
like I understand why people around here wouldn't like that.
Maybe she
I
didn't
think
mean
it's
that, but but that's what it sounded like. And
yeah,
because you got to understand that sometimes people say things and people just take it the wrong way. So
yeah,
I mean, it's just the way she said it made it sound like she was blaming the women, the single mothers, instead of blaming the men for leaving. And a
yeah.
lot of people took offense to that, and myself
And
included.
My
you know
thing is,
what?
single mothers do now, like white women as single mothers, they're exempt from this. That's their own fault, and fuck them. But as far as like black women as single mothers, I feel like they're doing the best that they can, and it never comes out ideal because we're just not meant to raise kids like that. But they do the best that they can, and it's not her fault that she's a single mom. You know what I'm saying? White women, they use divorce court to play the lottery, basically. That is their fault that they're single moms. But black women are single moms not by choice, but by black male antics. And so even if she's not the best mom, and I'm sure she did a lot of shit she shouldn't have done and blah, 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 but she was doing her best. But she was doing a 2-man job by herself. And that's a job that doesn't really stop until the kids move out. And even then it just goes down and never completely stops. So I really think that this whole thing where it's just like, oh, these black single mothers, like, fuck off. Like, these black single moms, they shouldn't be single moms. But that's black men's fault for making them single moms, not their fault for being single moms.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, two things can be true at the same time. It's just that it's irritating because every single time that black women do try and take accountability, because yes, some of it is their fault. Because if you see a dude that's got 2, 3 baby mamas that he never married, and you think that you're going to be special and you're going to have a kid with him too, and then he leaves you, I mean, that is kind of your fault. We saw that. I know it's a TV show, but it's Mari. Like, you have a stage full of women with this one guy, and they're all upset because he left them. And
I
it's
mean,
like,
yeah, I get where you're
after
coming
the
from.
4th and the 5th one, did y'all not get a clue that he was not going to take care of your kids? Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
But I mean, like, so two things can be true. It's sometimes, yes, part of it is the black women's fault because we're not perfect either. But yes, it is a lot of these black men that go run around and just spread their seed everywhere and then try and blame the women. Oh, well, like, she shouldn't get pregnant. Like, I'm sorry, that's a biological thing that my body does. And
Yeah.
I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah. Hey, can I say something about Candace Owens? And I think there's a misconception. I mean, she's a high profile person. Eventually, she's going to have political office. I believe that in America. She was even flirting with the thing of running as Trump's vice president, right? And I don't think it's far fetched that he even considered her. I think he was even looking into that. Candace Owens is powerful. Candace Owens has come up. She's a political figure. I think Candace Owens, in my opinion, I don't know. I think she would be on our side when it comes to black women, white men. She's married to a white man. And she's even done videos about that with an African woman, how she talks about how nice it is to be with a white man and this and that. But you got to understand, when you're that high up, you got to be politically correct. She can't just stomp the shit out of black men, or that would, any political thing she has to look forward to, it will go away. So she's got to walk that fine line. Me and Vincent aren't going to run for office because of what we well, maybe one day we will, Vincent, but we never say never.
I have to empty the seat and then I'll sit in it once the last person's gone.
Yeah, but seriously, I think Candace Owens is misunderstood. I don't think she's a mammy. I don't think she's fighting the good fight for the black man. I think she sees things how it really is, and you know what? She's a woman that will be with a white man, and she's not interested in black men at all. But
it's like this comment right here says, and this is really what I think is this. There are black Republican men. It's unapologetic Scorpio. There are black Republican men who would attack her if she outright says she disdains black men. That's what I think, and I think that's the truth. Is that she does. Like, I think there's enough evidence to suggest that she does, enough evidence that in her heart of hearts, she's on the same page that we all are right here tonight. But it would be career suicide to say it out loud. So we have to be like, hey, isn't it great that Kanye West is on our side and stuff like that? Like, she has to do that a little bit. You got to play the game. As politicians, you can't. Something that people say that like makes politicians seem two-faced is you have to be a one size fits all or you will lose. You know what I'm saying? You will not win an election only being a very niche thing that only applies to some people. You have to be a one size fits all thing that arguably is the best thing for everybody. And so I don't think that Candace Owens is on black male worship, but I think every now and then she has to say some things that make it look like that so that she isn't outcast as basically the face of black conservatism.
Yes. And here's a thing that's going on right now. A lot of black people are gravitating to the Republican Party. A lot of black people are saying, you know what, I'm conservative. They're shifting. And here's the thing that's going on in America, guys, and take note of this. There are black people that are coming back to the Republican Party that black people created. But anyway, but they're gravitating towards conservative values, ideas. And there's a shift going on in America right now. And the liberal left, I think the reason our borders are so open for Mexico and South America is they're looking for a new demographic to cling to. And let me tell you something. Hispanic population is growing in America. In years to come, they will be the majority. It will no longer be white European men that are the majority in America. It will be Hispanic. And I think the left sees this as an opportunity to say, you know what? Black people, we kind of use them for our political game here. Now, the new thing is the Hispanic population. And I don't want to get all political, but look, when the Hispanics become the majority, how much value do black people have? I mean, seriously, politically. And when it comes to power, when it comes to votes, when it comes to passing legislation. But here's the thing, the left does not understand that everybody that comes over to our country that migrates, they might come over and cling to your leftist ideas, but a couple generations, a lot of them end up going right. Look at the Cuban population. That was expected to be very far left. Most Cubans are very conservative.
Most Hispanic people are conservative. I wonder how successful the left is going to be in mind controlling Hispanics. As strict as gender roles are amongst Hispanic communities, how far is the feminist, gender fluid bullshit type thing really going to get with Hispanics?
And trying to label them Latinx because they really
shit like that. Like, no, like something interesting, like we were talking about this the other day with the passport bros and stuff, is that Hispanic communities will almost lift up trans before gay because trans, in a weird way, actually supports gender roles more than gay does. Like, if you think about that, like, think about it, like, it makes sense. And Hispanic countries will have more of that than they will rainbow flag gay parades.
Yeah. You know what, though? But see, the things don't work out the way people think. Look, in my part of the country, you know, I'm a conservative in a liberal state. I am. But along the Rio Grande Valley from New Mexico to Texas, you know what? That's growing far right. That's becoming more conservative. And you know why? Because the Hispanics that live in my state and the neighboring states of Texas and Arizona have to compete with these immigrants that will work for less money, and it takes away their livelihood. And that's turning them right. Look, it's having an opposite effect, and I think it's funny because the liberals have orchestrated this to fit their narrative and their voting bloc, but it's not working out that way. Not to what I'm seeing. And look,
And
even
DeSantis,
black communities in the area too are upset of immigrant. You know what? I work around, most of the people I work with are Hispanic, Mexican descent, right? Mm-hmm. I'm a minority, and most of them do not want Hispanic or South American immigrants in our country. They don't want them.
Nope, they sure
You know
don't.
why? It's not that they don't love them. They don't have compassionate. They understand why they're coming over, because for a better life, but they don't want them here because it drives down their wages. It makes it harder for them to make a living. Mm-hmm. And you know what? We're a nation of immigrants. We are. Look, my family came over in the 1800s. They were Irish immigrants from Northern Ireland. From they came over from Northern Ireland, Scotland. They didn't have much money. They wanted a better life. I get it. That's my life story. I understand Mexicans coming over, people from South America. I would do the same thing. But the thing of it is our country can only take so many at a time. And that's what's going on. And it's hurting the black community right now, bringing a lot of Hispanics over because their wages are driven down. And I don't think the left gets that. They say they're for the little people, they're for the minorities, but I call bullshit. These liberals are not for that. They're for power. Mm-hmm. Because the thing of it is, if you were for the little guy, these black communities would be thriving instead of competing with immigrants that are not even citizens of our country.
That's exactly the reason why this DeSantis and Abbott are calling their bluff, and they're sending planes and busloads of them to supposed sanctuary states because they're showing. Because they're showing. Yeah. Because have you seen how the mayor of New York, what's his name, Adams or whatever, how he's been acting ever since they came out there with all these little signs and stuff talking about welcome, this, that, and the other. But now they're trying to pawn them off somewhere else because they're costing them money. Now that they're actually, the hotels that they've been putting them in are starting to say, hey, we can't afford to keep this up, and trying to send them off to other places, and they're refusing to leave. It's becoming a thing. So like basically all of the border states are starting to try and get together and being like, you know what, fine, if you don't want to take care of the border, we can send them to you guys since you're so welcoming. And they're going to call their bluff, and they're going to see exactly how welcoming the left actually is.
Yes. And you know what?
It's easy to be pro-black when there are no black people around.
Yeah.
Pro-immigrant when there are no immigrants around.
And let me tell you, I've been around a lot of Hispanic people. I grew up with them as a child. And look, most of them do not say we're all brown and we're brothers. No, a lot of them identify with white. I'm just going, it's a cold, hard truth. So the left trying to push that narrative, no, it's not happening. And the thing of it is I sympathize with immigrants coming across the border. I do. I don't hate them. Look, if I grew up in Honduras or Mexico or somewhere in South America, I'd be running across the border too. Don't kid yourself. I do not have any animosity towards these people. I understand why they do it. They want a better life for them and their families. I get it. I have love for them, but you know what? We got to take care of our own citizens. And the ones that are hurt the most
veterans
are Hispanic and black people. I mean, seriously. And lower income white people too. Look, we got to take care of our own people first. And as much as I'm not for reparations, I think it's stupid. I think the actual slaves should have got reparations. They should the plantation owners' land should have been divided for the black people that were slaves. I agree with that. But in today's world, no, to me that don't make sense. But I would rather have our government make black people millionaires than send foreign aid to other countries, especially those that do not like us, and give it to our own citizens.
Amen.
Our black citizens. I would be more okay with that than giving it to, these Middle Eastern countries that hate us, giving money to OPEC to lower gas rates when we can produce oil in our own country.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'd rather give it to black people that hate me, that say I'm a racist white guy, because at least they're our citizens. At least they're our people. And when I say our people, our citizens, I'd rather give it to our own than. And the thing of it is we give billions of dollars overseas. We can make every black person a millionaire today if we cut up ties with people overseas that are our own enemies. We could do this. And I've seen these pro-black leaders that say this. They're right. I'm not saying we should just. My thing is we got to come together, not uplift one group over the other. That's been always a problem. But I would rather do that than give money to Iran that wants to destroy us. I'd rather give it to black people that tell me they hate me than, foreign leaders that want to just destroy me. Because I think most pro-black, or whatever these guys are, or the Umar Johnson followers, they say they hate me, but they're not really going to harm me. They're just, playing their role and saying their shit. But these other foreign groups they would love to destroy me. I would rather go that direction. But, I mean, that's just me.
The thing is, the Umar Johnson type would destroy us if they were capable of it, though. They're just not, because it's just the most incompetent, goofy-ass men. And even if they were to get that money, while they would still fumble the ball as they always have and not be able to hurt us, they would create more communities and more black male protecting systems and hurt more black women. So while I don't want Umad over there to get any fucking money, I don't need Tyrone getting any more either. And so, Umad and Tyrone can both suck rhinoceros cock. Fuck both of them.
But you know what? Oman would. I think he would be more strategic in destroying us than Tyrone. Tyrone's just going to buy Jordans and an Escalade. And
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Honestly, a mod, globally speaking, is a better superpower, but that may be the one group of men that mistreat women worse. That might be. I don't think because they're not complete fucking buffoons. Maybe we don't focus on that a whole lot, but I think society talks about it enough.
But the kind of sticking with this, the one thing I've seen and noticed over the years, and it's not like all of this, but some black men that claim to live a life of luxury actually just live in a apartment of that kind of sort, and they claim to be this wealthy king, if you guys know what I mean. And yet at the same time they can't manage to get a goddamn house. Sorry my language, but it's just a lot of black men claim to be the life of luxury, and then at the same time what do black men commonly spend their stuff on? Alcohol and trying to get the right woman. And it ain't just in TV shows and movies. You see black men whistling at a black woman and trying to get her attention and that kind of shit to this day in real life there. And then at the same time, what do they do with their money? Just spend it on alcohol, the ridiculous stuff that I, as a individual autistic human being who has his own house, that is more so invested in his own personal life of where I want to go from here. But at the same time, it's as though a lot of black men don't know how to invest in themselves properly, but yet they want to claim that they live a life of luxury that is just some ran down apartment building of some sort, but can't manage to get a house for them himself, or even something for a future family if he is interested in creating one, if you guys know where I'm coming from. But I mean, I've had more success in my life, and I still get people that try to talk shit about me, thinking as though I ain't making a success for myself. But I don't have to live the same life as another black man has to just to make myself successful. We can all make ourselves successful of what we put our heart and soul into ourselves, whether it be finding the right woman or creating a life path for yourself. And I could go on and tell you the history of my success story, but I think a lot of people just don't know what success is nowadays.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say something real quick. Hey, Vincent, what do you think, brother? I think, you know what? If we have money to give, right, and you have Oman, that we're giving foreign aid. This fucker wants to create nuclear weapons to hurt U.S. troops, right? But you have Umar Johnson that say white men's the enemy, the white devil. I could give Umar millions. You know what? And I could come back and finesse this motherfucker out of his money. I could do this. This beta male, this Umar Johnson, this guy's weak. This guy, you know what? I don't think it would take much out there to finesse him out of something. I could send a black woman. How he says that the government sends snow bunnies for black men. I could send a black woman in for Umar that was 5'5", thick in the thighs, that can manipulate this piece of shit, and he could be finessed out of all his wealth because he thinks with lust. He thinks of black women. He talks about black women between their legs, between 5'5", thick in the thighs. He talks about black women being heaven between their legs. He talks about black women as their insides is a man cave. Look, that is a big target. If you want to strip a man of his wealth, you just send a beautiful black woman and she'll take everything he's got. This guy is a piece of shit. Umar Johnson is the biggest beta male piece of crap ever. And when he says he's alpha, why? Because he has sex with multiple women? Well, when you got money, you can buy sex. You can. Women will gravitate to you because they think you got something. But look, the true black woman that is out there, that has true beauty, that has character, he will never have access to her. And in fact, this coward, this beta male is destroying the black community in front of our eyes. Why? By making black men victims, making them victims for life. He says that white men are the same white men as 400 years ago, meaning we're slave owners, meaning we're so evil, we can't change. It's the same white men. No, it isn't, because slavery would still exist. In our country, we settled the slave thing. We had to unalive our own family members, our own brothers, our own fathers to settle this thing. You don't even know what our country went through. Umar Johnson don't understand that. Do you know we had to swim in our own blood? Do you know that we had to lose our fathers, our brothers, our fathers, our sons to settle this? And we did it. And you know what? We're better for it. You know what? It was painful. You know what? Nothing good comes from sacrifice. And you know what? He don't understand that. And the thing of it is white men in America today love black women more than black men do. White men in America love and cherish black women. Black women have more wealth and more happiness with white men than black men in America. Black women have it all when a white man says, you know what, I love you. Black women could be the most powerful women in America, and it wouldn't take much for this to happen. And I tell you what, and I'm speaking from my own experience. My wife has a home she lives in. We bought a house she picked out. She decorates. This is something that we have together. This is our home. But you know what? I have no confidence that a black man would give this to my wife, which I have given onto her. I have no confidence that a black man would love my wife like I love my wife. I have no confidence that black men in the collective will love black women as much as white men love black women. You say you're crazy. You'll say, you know what? That don't make sense. But if you look at the statistics and you look at what's going on, you cannot challenge me on this. You cannot hold a stick to me on this. Truth be told, the evil white man that you see loves black women more than black men could ever dream of. And that is the truth. That is the fact. And that is what's going to change the world as we know it. Tell me I'm wrong.
No, you're not wrong there. But I just want to ask this to all those. When I was speaking like just a few moments ago there, I hope everyone understood where I was coming from and see where I was going, because I see that like Mary Lee was asking, how do you know so much about black men? I've seen their patterns of behavior over the years there. Mary Lee. So I've been very observant. Not saying all black men know how to be successful, but just for those that proclaim to be are usually those that are either living in their mama's condo or having apartment that really ain't the place that they can call their own, if you know what I mean. It's like renting a car without the ability to own it later on, like you do with apartments. And in terms of like that, it's like what I said. I've seen behavior patterns over the year, and I've had so many black men friends that have had become successful for themselves and all that. But it's just some black men claim to be successful when they are not.
And how else he knows? Because they won't shut up about it. They keep
Yep,
telling
exactly.
everybody.
That's another one there. Um,
They go, if you watched any of Vincent's slides, they go around telling everybody their business. It's like anybody who'll listen. So that's how, I mean, that's how the passport bros finally got caught, was because he was going online telling everybody, get your passport, come down here and mess with these women, blah, 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 blah. Like, black people are not black, especially black men, are not the only people that do sex tourism. He's just the only one that wouldn't shut up about it.
Right.
Yeah, exactly, Dark Vessel, if that's okay, if I call you that there. I mean, I'll be quite honest. What I've like seen and observed, I sometimes get people that criticize my way of thinking because I speak differently and I speak more honestly than like most people. And if you notice, like times when I speak, I have a stuttering thing in between or there. It's because of my speech issues I've always had from when I was a baby, even to my adult years now. At the age of 32, going to be 33 next March there. Or next month there. I'm sorry. But it's just, I get a lot of people that criticize just because of my human personality of the way I think, the way I speak, and the way I sound and all that. And you know what? It hasn't bothered me because I pretty much got used to people's like judgmental kind of attitude towards me. It's like, okay, you think that I have a like throat problem when you don't know really my lengthy history of the way I've always been and all that. I just like giggle at that kind of judgment attitude there, but it ain't really that bothered some to me. I still get people call me the word towards autistic people that classify them as brainless, stupid, and dumb. If you know which R word I'm talking about, and I don't need to say it, but I like gotten used to that type of R word in my life that it really doesn't bother me. Yeah, I've did more so for myself than anyone has ever thought I could. But at the same time, and I try to prove something. I'm just trying to show that for people like myself or whoever in general can be successful if they believe in themselves and put their heart and mind into what they want to do for their own self and their own lives there. And the autistic people often are still looked at as incapable of doing so much. And at the same time, I've proven a lot of people that have judged me wrong.
Awesome. Um, yeah, well said. Look, my theme tonight, guys, is I believe this. Look, I think there's something going on. I think there's something, it's spiritual. I think there's something that's has a divine purpose. And look, I believe us is, I love my country. I love America. I think, look, I've been in 4 combat deployments. I've served my nation. I've seen, my brothers take their last breath. I love my nation. Look, and here's the thing. I think we have a divine purpose. Is there sin in our nation? Of course. Is there horrible things that happen? Yes, it's shameful. I cringe and I get emotional when I study history. I'm like, how could a nation so great be so evil? I don't get it. The spirit of America is pure, and it is just. The problem is it's been led by sinful men. Seriously. But we still have, I believe, the greatest nation in the world. I do. We got every nation in the world in our country. We do. And it breaks my heart that in a country that's so great that we have a group of women that are so beautiful and so loving and that are so spiritual that we have overlooked because they do not look like us.
I think it's more that they tend not to live by us more than them not looking like us.
Yeah, but you know what? And I think
because if we all went to the same school, then
I think
the more we're integrated with each other, I think you'll see more and more and more of white men and black women.
Yeah, we will. And you know what? I think if we can grow and we can push forth the message and the truth, I think more black women, white men would come together and they would embrace what we have, our homeland, our country, instead of hating it, why don't we love each other? Why don't we come together? Black women are the most beautiful. You know what? Look, guys, you know how much I love black women? I have never been intimate with a white woman. I haven't. Or any other race of woman. It's always been black women. Look, you know, that's where my heart is. It goes so deep, you don't even freaking know. I think I go deeper than 90% of men. And look, when I give my heart to black women, I give everything. When I was 5 years old, I gave everything. You don't even know. And look, I love my country. I love where I live. And I want black women to be a big part of it. I do. I want us to. I want us to swirl to investment. I want us to come together in love. I want us to make this something more beautiful and better than it could ever be. And I don't want this just for my country. I want it for the rest of the world. But look, I'm just saying, black women, you're the most beautiful. You're the most loving. You're the only one I've desired. I mean, I could speak freely on this because it's true. I've never touched another woman except a black woman. Look, I'm putting this out there. I'm. Some people will say this is a weakness. No, this is a strength. This is where my heart is, and I can admit this. You just don't know. Black women, you don't know what power you have. You don't know how beautiful you are. You don't know. Amongst the women, you are the best. You are. And it's not just me saying it. But anyway, I better stop. I'll get all emotional in this. And I'll get crazy with this stuff. But I'm speaking truth. Black women, I have only, look, when I say I give black women everything, I've given black women everything. from my wants, my desires, from my marriage, my last name, from my wealth. Black women, you own that when it comes to me. And it's not by accident. It's because you are the best. Let me just say that. And my wife, Sandy, she knows she's the best. I might not go around calling her queen, but she's treated like it. Don't kid yourself. Anyway, sorry.
It's no problem there. And like I was saying the last time I spoke a few minutes ago there, I am like just trying to do things for myself and find the right woman which will come for me there. And just need to keep on hoping. But at the same time, I hope that there's a woman out there that don't mind a person like myself with his speech issues. Like I said, I get a lot of people judgmental about how I speak, but at the same time, I know there's a woman that wouldn't care about how I sound in terms of how I talk to people and all that there. And it's always been a problem of mine, even as a teenager. I once tried to get a speech therapist to help me try to learn how to speak more accurately and all that, but that didn't do any good there, and it felt like it was a big waste of time, and yet I continued to go anyway there. And after a couple years of getting the help, it didn't seem to do any much good for me. And I just took my speech issues as they've always been, just for what it was. And I've get people often saying that why don't you get the help to learn how to speak properly and all that. Well, I just feel like if I just stay my true self and who I am and explain to people why I have my speech issues like I had since I was a kid there, it'll be more understandable to those that can accurately understand why. And it's like a person getting help for their drug addictions but don't want to take the advice of a doctor or any sort, but just go ahead and continue with their addiction and accept for who they are as an addict there. If you guys know where I'm coming from. So I've just took my speech issues for what they've always been and not like looking into doing any more like help anymore, just because I just am going to take myself for who I am as a 32-year-old man.
Yeah.
Angel,
That's
trust
how
me.
you guys take it.
Angel, sorry,
Okay.
there's someone out there for you, and I can guarantee you now that a black woman will not judge you for your speech. She will love you for who you are, which is why these women are so incredible.
Yeah. And good night there, Nani Gardner. It looks like Nani. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly there, Gardner. But good night to you.
Okay. All right. Good night. Night, Gardner. Yeah, I want to welcome.
Sorry, it's just I love your personality there, friend, and you have a great personality, and I'm happy that your wife and you have been married for so many years there. You're a cool guy.
Okay. Awesome. I want to welcome Dark Mother's Vessel. Welcome to the show.
Welcome back.
Oh yeah, I fell off.
It's no problem.
I don't know why I have a different picture. Like if I go from a different device, it's shut down on me because I guess I used up all my juice at the gym. So
okay.
it shut down and I had to reboot and get back on, and I was like, and then I couldn't find the link, and I was like, no.
There we go. Well, anyway, welcome. It's good to see you.
Welcome back.
Thank you. To go along with what you were talking about, since you are speaking of, why marriage between white men and black women should be encouraged and promoted, I also like to point out that I feel that we're a little bit more romantic with each other because of all the things that we appreciate about each other. Because, as has been said in previous lives and things like that, whenever we get together, we do show appreciation because we are the doers in our respective cultures. So there's a lot of women that will not, especially black women, who will not admit that they want the romance. And of course, it doesn't have to be all rom-com, you know, extravagant type of romance, but just to let somebody know that you're thinking of them, that you care about them, and it's nice to be appreciated. And I feel that the more black women that start to understand that they can have that if they're you know not I don't know how to say this because I don't want to put white men on the spot or anything like that. It's just that
Put us on the spot. Do it.
okay, but I feel that white men just show a little bit more appreciation whenever they're given appreciation. You can sit and march for the certain group of men, and do all of the things to try and make him feel special because he keeps on saying how he's been so mistreated by society and this, that, and the other. And you do anything and everything to try and make him feel like a king, and he doesn't care.
Mhm.
And it's been my experience that, I can do the simplest thing, for a white man, and he shows me appreciation. I get the door held for me because I say thank you. I get, my chair pulled out for me because, I show him respect and I talk to him like he's a human being. And the same thing goes for me. I have never had to deal with um the type of things that these women are claiming that are happening to them of white men being creepy and things like that. And that's not to say that they're not out there, but it's always been my experience that whenever you show them respect, they show you respect. And I think that right there is really what's the best part of being in this interracial relationship, of being a white man with a black woman, is because of the respect that's there, the love that's there, but also the respect of, I understand that, you are a human being that is trying your best and doing what you can for me. And you understand that I am also a flawed human being that is trying my best and doing the best I can for you. And it just, I feel that once, more people start to understand that, instead of it being like some magical thing, because there was a lot of people in the chats talking about, oh, you need to get a swirler and everything. And we've had discussions in our Black women's groups of the difference between a swirler and a divestor. And if you're going to have a swirler, I think it'd be best that you get a divested swirler, because there are some swirlers out there who they're not really, I don't know how to put it. It's like they'll date out, but I feel that they're more doing it because they're not really into swirling. They're just doing it because they want to make the certain group of men they really want to be with jealous.
I've been
You
thinking
know
about
what?
that a lot lately, and that really is a thing. Is it's like they feel unappreciated by black men, but they're still tethered to black men. So they think by flaunting their options in front of black men, they'll make them jealous. They might make black men angry, but jealous, I don't think is the word, because for them to be jealous, they'd have to care, and black men don't. They just don't give a fuck. And I think black women need to accept that and then truly move on, not try to
Right.
piss them off by flirting with white guys.
Right.
Yeah, I would say dark mother's vessel.
Hmm.
What you got to look for in the man, and I call this, when I talk about my channel, I say Roadrunner 89 swirl to investment. What that means is interracially date to marriage. That means you're serious in it. You're all the way. You don't want to be a swirler. You have to be a swirler to get your foot in the door. But the main goal is for investment. The main goal is for marriage because you love black women. I'm fully invested in black women. My wife is a black woman. I'm all the way invested. That's what I wanted. That's been my goal throughout my life. Seriously. Um, so I'm totally invested. When you talk about divestment, that's a different thing. Us as white men, we can't be divested. That don't make sense unless we leave the white community to go to the black community to be with a black woman. But that usually don't happen, right?
Oh no, I know what you mean. What I'm saying is
Yeah,
for any white man that is looking to open his options, I think it'd be better for him to have a divested swirler because you
yes,
get swirlers
yes.
that do that they're not in trying to invest into these relationships. If you, a
I
divested woman wants to have her goals met, which a lot of them won't admit that they do want to be wives and mothers, but they think that they're not worthy of that, or they either think that they're not going to get that because they stay so invested into we call it the community, um,
uh,
because because they think that if they're just a good enough black woman, eventually they're going to build Wakanda for them and give them a parade because they held it down. And you have some swirlers that secretly still want that, so they think by coming jumping the fence and trying to make jealous the guys that they want to act right, that they're going to you know finally get that. And like Vincent said, these men do not care. And
yeah,
what I'm saying is that I think that this is a good thing that you guys are doing this, because the women that really do want as I said, romance, the women that do want a family, the women who do want to be married, need to see that yes, if you just open your heart a little bit, open up your options, you can have this, because there are men out there who think that you're beautiful, that like your kinky hair, that don't mind if you do wear a weave, because I do both. There's sometimes I don't feel like messing with my natural hair. I don't care if it makes me lazy. um, but it's these women need to understand that if what is that, the definition of insanity is doing the same old thing over and over and expecting a different result. You're gonna have to get out of your comfort zone, and you're gonna have to be different. You're gonna have to think different, and you're gonna have to look for different if you want different, is I guess what I'm trying to get at. And since you're talking about why the marriage between white men and black women should be encouraged and promoted, that's another thing too, is to see more, interracial couples featuring a white man with a black woman. And what I would like to see is one of those kinds of couples without them being social justice warriors, because I swear I just watched Cheaper by the Dozen, the remake, and like the first scene was the house with a big old Black Lives Matter freaking sign in the door, and I was like so mad because you're trying to get away from that type of stuff. So I just want to live life. I don't want to have to
yeah,
be social justice warrior all over the place. I just need one man to love me, and and it to be about me, him, and our family. I don't need all that extra stuff.
yeah. You know what? And I hear you. And you know what? When you speak of divestment, I tell white men, I said, you know what? If you're going to date black women, date the ones that are fully divested.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing of it is, because they're done. They're going to love you and accept you more as a white man than a black woman that is a swirler that says, "Oh, I could date whoever, whatever. Open to everybody." No, she isn't. She's still black male identified. she will not love you like someone that's divested. Seriously. And I've dated interracially since the 80s, right? The women that have shown me more love is the women that are into white men exclusively. They give you everything. The ones that that are attracted to white men and black men, that really don't
I feel
work.
like a lot of that is them. Sorry. I feel like that a lot of that is thank you. I feel like a lot of that is them still trying to appease to black men.
Yeah.
Being like,
It
because
is.
something, as soon as a black guy sees this, it's like, oh, you worship white males. No, I don't. Fuck what he thinks. Don't care about what he thinks. Don't respond to what he thinks. But the fact, if you're like, oh, let me say it in this way so that black guys can't say this, fuck what they say. Let them say what they want to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care if you guys call me racist. I know what I am. If they want to call me that, they can call me that. I don't give a fuck. What they think is not going to inhibit what I think or what I do. You know what I'm saying? So the black women that talk like this, it's like, oh, I'll date Asian guys, Hispanic guys, white guys, black guys. Like the ones that talk like that, they're still trying to make sure that they have black male approval. And so they're almost trying to have a black male approved interracial relationship. And you are fighting a losing fight there. And why the fuck do you even care?
And Vincent, you are, because these black women are still black male identified. And you know what? They might open their options to other men. They might date you. They might sleep with you. They might marry you. But at the end of the day, their allegiance is to black men. It is what it is. Look, I've dated black women that are super woke that, you know what? The relationship was great till it wasn't great because they're still identified. They cannot put you first. Even if they're attracted to you, even if they love you more than any other man, you're never going to be first. And I tell men, I say, you know what? Divested women are the best option for white men because they're done, they're through, and they're ready to accept you. And I know some divested women say, well, it's not about dating, it's about, okay, right. It is, but divested women, when they open up their options to a relationship, it's going to be men of no color. Let's be honest. So, I mean, we need to gravitate towards that. And Vincent, what you were saying with divested black women and they wanting to be in their own circle, I feel you, brother, because I've been on divested black women spaces where they open up their arms and they're glad to talk to me, and there are others they don't want to hear shit from me. And that's cool.
That second kind, I really feel like is still black male identified. I think.
Yeah, maybe, but you know what? That's okay, because you know what? With our platforms, we're going to bring black women in, white men together, and we're going to do what's best. The best option for both of us. And black women and white men, we're the best option for each other. We really are. We don't live in 1845. We live in 2023. So do you want to take a chance with me? Can I tell you I love you and open my hand in marriage? And, can we make it work? I did it with my wife back in 94. It worked. My wife didn't call herself a divestor, but she was done with black men.
Yeah,
she
same.
Black men was garbage.
At all till we'd been together for I think a decade already. But yeah. No, this mentality is not. I think this mentality has existed a lot longer than the internet gave it a name.
It did. Yeah,
it has. We just didn't know what to call it.
Yeah.
Because once the internet came around, we started connecting and seeing that there was more women like us. Because, I mean, when I got made fun of all the time for being too girly, in the Black community. I got made fun of for crying because somebody hit me in the face with a volleyball. Because apparently, as a Black girl, you're not supposed to cry. So I was labeled soft and basically ripe for ridicule. And that's kind of how I became, divested from the Black community, because there was no compassion there. There was no understanding for being a Black girl that cries or has tears or anything like that, because as in the community, you're not allowed to have those things. You're supposed to be hard. You're supposed to be a warrior. And then you get told that you're too masculine and that other women are better than you. So it is what it is there.
Well, you're the best of the best, so don't listen to that crap. Mark, thanks for coming on, brother. Get a good night's sleep, and I'll see you on the next live, Mark.
But adding to what you, Brand, and you, Vincent, both were saying a few minutes ago, and I agree with what you said about like black women still catering to the Black men. It would be like a company catering to the vegan slash organic groups there, if you know what I'm talking about, and then not being a successful kind of product, but still keeping it on the shelves, even if the company knows it ain't like that much of a best kind of seller. Because trust me when I say this, there's been many products that have come and gone after a short lived that would have been successful if it was stayed on. But it always seems like any type of stuff that ain't necessarily something that should be like they're pressured by a group like whichever organic group that there are on social media nowadays that are pressuring food companies to change their recipes, like switch things up. Yeah, we all need to be held conscious, but it should ultimately be up to the people's choice at the end of it, of how they want to eat and how they want to live. But at the same time, companies are like catering to the kind of woke food groups on social media, and then the what do they do with their product, even if it's not successful? Like I said, they still keep it on shelves, but even if it is not like the top 100 products selling of the year, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Unapologetic Scorpio. Good to see you, young lady.
Hey, Scorpio, it's been a moment there. Hope you're doing well. I remember her, and great to see you again.
You know what? She's so awesome. She makes me want to move to Pittsburgh and stuff. But anyway, right? I just,
oh my God,
I just miss her.
I'm
I miss
sorry.
her talking. Her, she just, spills the facts and tells it like it is. I'm just like, oh my God. I'm just like, I want to go to Pittsburgh, and I'm a Cowboys fan, but I might wave the terrible towel a little bit. Not long, just saying.
Don't you do it.
I'm sorry. I love you there, Brent. You're a cool, great guy there. Ever since I first met you, I have like been drawn to your channel and all that. And at the same time, like I said, this is my first time up here in a few months there. But it's just, you're a great, fantastic man. Happy that your wife married you for the right reasons there.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. Yeah, well, I was able to bamboozle my wife and trick her into marrying me. You know what? You know what? When I say I don't deserve my wife, I'm being honest. She's such a blessing. I got the best end of that deal, but you know what? Anyway, she loves me, so she's okay with it. So it's all good. But Yeah, unapologetic Scorpio. I love you, young lady. Um, yeah, I missed you. I haven't seen you in a while. But anyway, Lamb, welcome to the channel. Good to see you, brother. How are you doing?
Hey, not too bad of yourself.
I'm doing okay. Just up a little bit late tonight, but that's all good.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a while
Oh, okay.
since last time I was up on the live.
Yeah, it's been a little bit. It's good to see you. Um, we're talking about black women and how beautiful and precious they are, and it's always one of my top topics, talking about black women, saying how beautiful they are, how awesome they are. I mean, I could talk all night about this, but
To me, like they seem to be more feminine with white men compared to black men.
yeah, they are more feminine with white men than black men. And you know what? This goes across the world. I've talked to black women in America where I live, in different states all across the country. I've talked to black women in Canada, the Caribbean, Africa, the UK. And look, black women, the amazing thing with black women is they're so beautiful and amazing, no matter what country you're in, no matter what. I mean, seriously, you could find good black women to be good wives and mothers in every country.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
you can. And the amazing thing is they're not that much different. They might have a different accent. They might be from a different region or whatever. They might have a little bit different outlook, but they're still the amazing black women.
Yeah, they've still got the same mindset they have.
They
But
do.
that's like in the UK, black women's got a unique voice they have compared to black women like in America.
They do. I look, if I was a young man not married, I could fall in love with a black woman, whether she's in America, Canada, the Caribbean, Africa, the UK. It don't matter. Black women, look, I've met women from all over, black women from all over the world, and they're so amazing. There's something that they have that's so loving, that is so awesome.
Yeah, that's their souls. That's what it is.
Yeah, it's like you can't help but fall in love with black women. It don't matter where they come from. Seriously, I'm. They just got that. I don't know. Maybe it's that black girl magic they talk about. Is that what it is? Maybe
All I
it's
can say.
Quite possibly.
could it be possibly that? Could it be black women are just so loving and so
I just
amazing?
like how they talk to you as well.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I just as a young man back in the day, I always felt I can fall in love with a black woman from anywhere. It don't matter where she's from. It don't matter how she talks. It don't matter. These women are the most beautiful. These women are the most amazing women on earth. And why other men do not see what I see, I don't understand it. Are these men stupid? Are these men blind?
No, I can say. That's
Just
like they need to open their eyes up. That's what that is.
yeah, I'm just saying. I just like what's going on. And look, if I could be Look, like I've said, guys, I could go into this all night, but when I say I gave my heart to black women, I gave everything to black women. Before I was dating, before I was married. It is what it is. It's truth. And it provided a path for me. And it was a beautiful path. Look, I found my wife, Sandy, because of my love for black women. So it was meant to be. You know what? I'm blessed. I found my path. I found out where it leads to. And should I be silent? Should I just shut up and not say nothing about it? Live my best life with my wife? And just not give a shit about nobody? I mean, what should I do? Or should I uplift black women and tell the world how beautiful they are, how amazing they are, how awesome they are as wives and mothers, how they improve our community, how they improve our neighborhoods, how they improve our nation? That's what I should be talking about, right?
Yep. To speak your mind at the end of the day. I don't care what anyone thinks.
Yeah. I mean, well, guys, I'm going to have to close this soon, but I enjoy you coming on. I got to go to work at 6 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock. What am I doing? But no, seriously, I love coming on. And, Vincent, brother, thank you for coming on. Liam, thank you. I haven't seen you in a while. You
No problem at all. I've been busy myself with work and stuff.
Where are you at?
Obviously in the UK. I'm about 2 hours away from London.
Oh, okay, in the UK. Okay, yeah, it's good to see you. It's been a little while. Dark Mother's Vessel, young lady, thank you for coming on and giving your perspective. I appreciate
Thank you for having me again.
Yeah, thanks so much. And this has been an awesome night. From Vincent's show to the after party over here, I just enjoyed tonight. And Vincent, keep up the good work, brother. You're doing amazing things. And
I appreciate you. By the way, in a few hours, there's going to be a poll on my channel. If you and anybody could listen to vote, like to cast your vote on it, it's going to decide what my next live is about.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll check that definitely out.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll check that out. Yeah.
Is it gonna involve moving forward with the sword?
I mean, eventually, I work that into every live I do. Eventually, I get pissed off enough to lose my filter and talk about it. But I think it's most desirable males, absent father households, and kings versus kings. I think those are the three topics that are in the poll. So whichever one wins by is the one that I'll start working on for Friday.
Awesome. You know what, guys? Mm-hmm. Hey, I would describe myself as a monk that believes in love and peace, but I'm also a warrior. You know what? My time in the army, I always carried a Bible, but I always carried a sword. And I think us as men, we got to be in tune with God. We got to be spiritual. We got to be loving and peaceful. But then again, we got to be mighty warriors too. And look, the time I spent in the army, you know what? I carried that Bible. I carried that sword. Just like generations before me did. Okay? That's in our culture. I did that. The only difference is we carried a Bible, but our sword is different. My sword I carried in my time was the M16 Alpha Deuce. Okay? And those of you that have been in the Army, you know what I'm talking about, right? That is my time. That is my area. The M16 Alpha Deuce. Right now it's the M4 carbine. That's what the soldiers are carrying today. That's our sword. Okay. In today's military, we don't carry an actual sword, but we carry a rifle. That's our sword. That's what we, take to the field. That's what we march in battle with. But I always carried a Bible because I wanted to be in tune with God. I wanted love and peace also. But there comes a time when you got to be loving and peaceful. And there comes a time when you got to, have a can of whoop ass too. I mean, it is what it is. It's balance, right?
That's right.
But
Square
anyway,
up.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, but anyway, I don't want to get all into that. But guys, I thank you for coming on. Liam, thank you so much. Mark Bavin, it was getting late. Thank you for coming in. Dark Mother's Vessel, thank you so much, young lady. I enjoyed hearing your commentary from on this channel, and when you were on Vincent's channel, I enjoyed it. And Vincent, my brother, I always in love. I always, your lives are awesome. I always enjoy them. And I'm sorry I came in late, but
yeah, you're cool, man. I mean,
I had a late night at work, but I was listening the whole time, and how you broke it down, it's awesome. And I love that Fiberton came on, and it's good that us white men are coming together and just speaking on this. And I love black women coming in, but us white men got to come in too. And if we're going to make this work, we're going to make this a beautiful thing. It takes black women and white men.
What I try to do with my lives is after the presentation, I try, if I get enough white guys ahead of the game, get a part where just us white guys are talking, and then a part where everybody's on. So I got Fiberton and Michael Ray's emails. I'm trying to get Mark's email. I put something in the private chat. I guess he didn't see it. Or Liam here, if Liam wants to email me sometime. Or your buddy Corey. I wouldn't mind if all how many people did I just name? 6, 7? I wouldn't mind if all 7 of us were talking for a little bit before I
Oh, that would be a beautiful thing. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, Vincent, Brent's got my email address he has.
My email address? It's in my
No, Brent's got my email address.
Okay, then I'll email him and maybe we can set up that or whatever.
We'll get it together. And I would love to have a big white man panel. And
then later open it up to everybody. But
of course.
We can get the 3 of us, Fiberton, Corey, and stuff like. If we can get all of us talking on something, that I think would be really great. And then after that, still open it for everybody.
Yeah, that would be really great. I think that would really make things awesome. And look, we need to have a movement. Divestors got their movement, right?
Yes.
You got swirlers, right? They just interracial. My thing is swirl to investment. I consider myself an investor. I invest in the black woman. The black woman has my name. The black woman shares my wealth. The black woman, I provide a home for her. She is my world. She is my everything. The black woman, I invest in the black woman. And I think the investor is the proper name for us white men. We invest in black women. We're investing in you, black women, because we believe in you. We got faith in you. We love you. My wife, I love her. I trust her. I have faith in her. I've given her my name. I've given her my wealth. I've provided a home for her. The house we bought, she picked out. Um, and I give that to her not I give that to her because I love her. That's my investment. And what I get in return for that investment is I get someone that loves me with all her heart. I get someone that has faith in me, someone that uplifts me, someone that snuggles with me at night, and it makes me feel good. That I get look, I've invested in the black women and I have never been let down. I've reaped the benefits ever since. And that's what I want to make this about. There are divestors, but there are investors. And ladies, when I talk about investors, these are white men that invest in black women because we want the best option. We want the best for our return. We want a woman that loves us with all her heart and soul. We want a woman that will be with us till the bitter end, that will be with us at our highest moment or our lowest peak. And black women, that's what we want. And we get the best for our return when we invest in black women. And you make us better than we ever thought we would be. Look, I have a very successful life. I'm financially set. Is it because of me? Well, I want to believe it's because of me. But you know what? The truth is it's my wife that brought out the best in me. And that is so true. But anyway, I just want to say that. And black women, you are the best investment. And the best investor pours into you because we get much more out of you than what we pour into you. And that's the truth. And ladies, you should be honored for that. Ladies, you should be praised for that. Because there are no other women on earth that are more loving, more nurturing, more beautiful than you, black women. It's the truth. But anyway, let's go ahead and close this. I'll give you guys a last word and then I'll shut it down. We'll start with ladies first. Black Mother's Vessel. Thank you so much, young lady. Do you want to have a closing statement?
Well, I think what you were trying to say was that you get your soul nourished whenever you pour into black women, because that is what we are. We are natural mothers. We nourish the soul. We nourish the spirit, and a lot of people don't want to see the value in that. And I'm so grateful that there's men out there who do and are willing to do something about protecting that resource, because the fact of the matter is, out of all the conversations that we've had, spiritual warfare has been mentioned a couple of times, and I believe that that's one of the reasons why we're seeing so many horrible things happening right now. The veil has been lifted, and we are all under spiritual attack right now, and having, men and women who value protecting the spirit, protecting your soul, is invaluable right now. So yes, it is a very good idea for white men and black women to be together, because we are protectors of the soul and the spirit, because of our spiritual ties and how spiritualist we are and how faith-based we are. So I appreciate you allowing me to come back on because I had a couple of things that I wanted to say. I can't really remember what they were because I was at the gym, so I couldn't talk. But thank you for letting me come on, and you all have a great evening.
Yeah. Hey, Dark Mother's Vessel, I'm going to be going on tomorrow night too, a late night live, but you could come on that time too if there's something you want to get out. Um, I know it's kind of late, but that's my work schedule. But yeah,
Yeah.
you're welcome
So
anytime.
so is mine. Sometimes I might even work overnight. So who knows?
Okay. You're always welcome, young lady.
Well, thank you. And I will see you all. Hopefully, I'll see you all tomorrow then.
Okay,
You have a
have a
good night.
Good
Good night.
night.
good night. Okay, closing statement before we shut down.
Open up your options. Look at different events you're into, and don't give a fuck what anyone else thinks. Sorry for that swearing.
Oh, okay, awesome. Yeah, well said, brother. Um, okay, Vincent. Before we close down, brother, what do you got to say?
I suppose nothing else that I haven't already said. I appreciate everybody being on my show a little bit ago. I'm glad we had this after party over here, even though I missed most of it. Yeah, just anybody that subscribed to me, look at my poll that'll be up in a few hours and tell me which one you want to see. But as far as the actual topic we're talking about, I think I've made my stance clear. I have a relatively militant response in mind, but need more people, need more support, need more numbers.
Yeah, and you know what? We need to fight for that, and we'll get it. I think as time goes by, sometimes it takes one to start talking, then two, then three, and then before you know it, everybody's talking. Maybe we can have that impact. Maybe eventually we could get more white men coming on expressing love for black women, and maybe we can develop alliances. Maybe even divestors will come around and, you know what, align with us and to make things better. I think all that's possible. um, but Vincent, you're doing an amazing job. Keep up the good work. um, you know what, we're in this together. Let's make it happen. And you know what, black women are the best option, and as white men, let's make ourselves the best option for black women. How about that? Let's do that. And you know what, that'll make everything better. That'll make our country better. That'll make our communities better. And but anyway, that's my thoughts. But Vincent, brother, thank you so much for coming on. I appreciate it. Thank you for letting me come on your show and speak. Um, and you know what? You had a lot of good points. Your presentation, it was spot on. And we love you for that, brother. And keep up the good work. And like I said, you know what? One step at a time, we change a community. Sooner or later, we change the world. And if we can change it for the best, that's what it's all about. But
I appreciate you, buddy.
yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate you coming on.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and get to bed too, but you have a good night, all right?
All right, you too, brother. Thank you so much. Yeah, guys, thank you so much. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night. I'll be on again tomorrow night, and I'll figure out what we're going to talk about. But you pretty much know what it's basically what it's going to be about. But anyway, have a good night. God bless you and your families. And I'll see you soon. Hey, keep up the faith. Swirl to investment. Make America great. Swirl to investment. That's what I say. Make the world great. Let's do this. Have a good night. God bless you and your families. Good night.